What's going on, everyone? So a few days ago, there was some massive news within the Lorcana community, and I want to bring your attention to it as well as talk about how it actually impacts Star Wars Unlimited and potentially our ability to play Star Wars Unlimited online. So as we go through, there are some very heavy implications that, well, again, impact us as this is a Star Wars Unlimited channel. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But for those of you that don't know, Lorcana is a trading card game. It's purely based in the Disney lore. It's a lot of the Disney characters. And as such, Disney has intellectual property rights to the cards and, of course, anything associated with any of the Disney universe, right? And so this Discord message comes from the developer of Pixelborn, which is an online client to play Lorcana multiplayer, which, very similar to Carabast, gives people the option to actually play decks, test decks, play with their cards on an online setting similar to, well, something like Magic Arena or Magic Online, right? These are kind of, or I guess you'd say Magic Arena is kind of the quintessential TCG example of ability to play an online card game with a very heavy support from the actual developers of Magic, right? And so, well, there are a lot of other smaller TCGs or newer TCGs that are trying to get some way to play online. And that's where, clients like Pixelborn or Carabast come out, is because, well, a lot of games nowadays are reliant on their online ability to be played, because otherwise you're missing out on such a massive audience. And trading card games, despite being a paper naturally game, still misses out on a ton of online community if they don't have some sort of program to play online. Now, with this message basically states that Disney contacted the developer here and requested Pixelborn be shut down because it's suggesting or potentially suggesting an affiliation with Disney and potentially looking like you're copying the cards and kind of taking Disney's intellectual property rights. This is the exact statement that Pavel Kolov here posted in relation to this message. Now, this makes sense, and I don't think it's necessarily something that people should be absolutely crushing Disney over, in that it's absolutely their right to take down a program that I'm not sure if it's making money. I don't actually know the monetization behind the scenes about some of these online clients, but even if it's not, it is an entire online client that thousands, if not tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people are playing with and, well, investing a lot of time, and in some cases might be taking money from paper Lorcana due to this program. And regardless of all that, it is using Disney Lorcana's cards, and, well, if you're kind of outside of the know, then you might think it actually is a Disney affiliated project. And so Disney has every right to ask to take something like this down in most cases. Now, I've heard that there's some ways around this by doing some certain things. Even on the right hand side here, you can see a comment by someone else mentioning something with Dueling Book and Yu-Gi-Oh, which I'm not necessarily super informed on, but it looks like there might be some way to get around this. Regardless, why does this matter for us, and why am I even talking about this? Well, first off, it's extremely unfortunate for the Lorcana community members, as this is, as far as I understand, the best way to play Lorcana online. I'm not someone who's played a bunch of Lorcana, so I haven't even dove into Pixelborn myself, and it looks like I'll never even be able to get to do that. I was considering joining the Lorcana community and actually playing quite a bit, but one of the big things that I generally try to look for is some way to play online, because that's one of the ways that I can actually get in a lot of game time. But as I mentioned, Star Wars Unlimited, produced by FFG, their parent company is Asmodee, and they're licensing Star Wars from Lucasfilm, which is owned by Disney, right? This is pretty similar to, well, the relation that Pixelborn has with Disney as well, because Disney's developed by Ravens Group, I believe it's called, and they're licensing, Disney the cards to make Lorcana. And so we have somewhat of a similar level of, I guess you say, removed from Disney that Lorcana has. And so we could easily see some sort of, I guess you say, pressure from Disney to take down the programs that we currently have in Star Wars Unlimited. That includes things like Carabast, which, well, this is a program that a lot of people are using in a daily basis. I know myself, I play it all the time. I know that, heck, even some of the developers can't acknowledge Carabast, and they don't really want to be affiliated with anything to do with Carabas because, well, similar to what Lorcana might be going through, is this could cause some sort of issue with the people developing Star Wars Unlimited. Similar to that, we also have things like Force Table, which, well, it looks like this one is specifically monetized. I'm not sure if they donate their proceeds, but it looks like you can't even play some of the game modes. I haven't even logged on to Force Table in a long time, but you can't even play some of the game modes, it looks like, without supporting the developers of Force Table. Not to say that that's terrible. And you can see down here, they even say it's not affiliated with Fantasy Flight Publishing or Lucasfilm, etc., etc. But regardless, it still uses the cards and the kind of, well, anything in relation to Star Wars that is being licensed by FFG. And so we have a very similar situation as we do in Lorcana, in which we have a couple of different online clients that are for the public to play with, and in some cases might be monetized, that could easily be tracked down from Disney and from, the upper end to be shut down because of, well, the same reasons that Disney quoted for Pixelborn, which is really, really unfortunate. Now, here's the biggest thing that I wanted to mention with this, and this also goes for Pixelborn, Lorcana. Regardless of anything else, my personal preference with all of this, and what I think everyone should be hoping for, is that they do something, and this, I saw this animation today, which is kind of perfect because I wanted to show it to you all. I want to see something with dedicated teams, just like Magic Arena, from the developers themselves. I want to see a client, I want to see an online program that's directly supported, whether by Disney or FFG or Asmodee or whatever it is, whoever gets control, or maybe even a secondary company, and they're able to license out Star Wars and Star Wars Unlimited to make their own online program and maybe an official kind of online game like Magic Arena. That would be ideal. And the same thing with Lorcana. I would love to see, again, I think it's Raven's Group, go ahead and develop an actual client in relation to Disney to be able to give some program for their community that's actually properly supported and properly developed. Because despite us, really taking advantage of things like Pixelborn and things like Carabas and Force Table, these programs are far and away not as good as something like Magic Arena, right, is for Magic. That's, I guess, somewhat debatable for some people, right? If you look at the monetization and how you can access to the cards, these are, I guess, free programs from what I understand, so you can use all the cards. So without the actual monetization part, just the design, the ability to support cards, and the ability to kind of get all the rules instigated in the game seems to be something that we should strive for. So if Disney and the community around Lorcana and us over in Star Wars Unlimited end up with a program that's directly developed by the developers of these games, there isn't really a downside here. Right? We get an online program that we can access and play our Star Wars Unlimited, our premiere formats, our draft formats, our sealed formats, same thing with Lorcana, without any of this ever becoming an issue. However, at the current moment, Lorcana doesn't have that. And Star Wars Unlimited also doesn't have that. And so Disney going out of their way, again, right, they can. It's not against the rules or anything. And to be fair, it's absolutely within their right to take down things like Pixelborn or even Carabas or Force Table, not that they have yet, but that could very easily happen, is a huge blow to not only the growth of their games, but also the community of their games, as a lot of people can't necessarily dive into the paper versions of the game, so they're way too expensive. They play free to play on like Magic Arena and earn their cards slowly, and that's the only way they play. Or they play Carabas, or they play Pixelborn, and they can access all the decks that the new content creators like myself are posting about and testing out all these things and just having fun and expanding the community. Without the online programs even existing, or any way to play online versions of specific trading card games, it's a huge blow being dealt to the overall community in both of these games. So one of the biggest worries that I have, of course, in relation to this is that Carabas is going to be taken down, potentially, Force Table, potentially all of it in relation to, the trading card games. Heck, I even heard some issues with Tabletop Simulator and some of their mods, and copyright issues or intellectual property rights issues. However, they fought those off in respect to other games, as far as I understand. I don't know if there's anything specific with like Lorcana or Carabas or Star Wars Unlimited or anything like that. So there might be a way to play Star Wars Unlimited with Tabletop Simulator. But I know a lot of people don't even access Tabletop Simulator because that's also a separate program that you have to purchase in order to play and also get used to the mods and the different controls, right? It's not a game that automatically handles all the rules for you. It just simulates you playing in paper, right? This is more of an actual online program that allows you to play Star Wars Unlimited, and same with Pixelborn. It's an actual program that allows you to play these games rather than a simulator for if you were playing in paper, like Tabletop Simulators. So maybe that's the difference. I'm not 100% sure. But regardless, seeing the death of Carabas or Force Table potentially in our future would be a very, very sad day. And again, you can see it down here. They can even mention, no way affiliated with Disney or Fantasy Flight Games. They are property of Disney, etc., etc., etc. It's a fan-made project. It's explicit, and because of that, you're gonna potentially find that these could be shut down at any moment. And so I figured I'd bring this to your attention just because, well, I thought it was interesting, as well as potentially sad for our community. And of course, it certainly is unfortunate for the Lorcana community. And I hope that it doesn't happen for Star Wars Unlimited. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, the ultimate hope here is that we get some sort of online program that we can play that's directly affiliated with the developers of Star Wars Unlimited. And we don't even have to worry about any of this. We don't have to worry about Force Table going away. We don't have to worry about anything like that. And heck, I mean, this guy developed a sick animation for Darth Vader, might I mention. And we could see, arts of this caliber, or, interactions and new animations and updated card quantities and rules being updated and everything working as smoothly as it possibly can without too many bugs, as we do have with things like Force Table and Carabas on a regular basis. So that would be the ultimate goal, and I'm holding out hope for that with both games. Any game that I play, realistically, I just want an online client. But it's a huge blow for Lorcana, and it could potentially be a massive blow to Star Wars Unlimited if these programs are shut down and there's nothing to take their place. And unfortunately for Lorcana, it does look like that's going to be the case for at least the foreseeable future. Pardon me there, but it is unfortunate. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Is it something that you've been keeping up on? It's not like extremely recent. It did happen, as I mentioned, a few days ago. I wanted to, kind of think about it and let everyone talk about their Lorcana before I mentioned it in relation to Star Wars Unlimited. But thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you all for a video